What's good, peeps? Self-isolation, day 35. Again, as per usual, hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully everyone's okay. All right, before we talk about Tony Bellew saying he would, what did he say again? I think he said he would beat or play with Andy Ruiz. Before we talk about that, let's have a quick look at what else is making the headlines this week in the crazy world of boxing. Let's go into boxing scene and see if there are any interesting things. I will timestamp everything I talk about. So if you just want to fast forward to Tony Bellew, I will put the timestamp in the description bit, and I'll also put it in the comment section as well. All right. So what's this? Parker says, if no one wants to fight Dillian Whyte, I'm always here for the rematch. You know, that's a rematch that isn't really spoken about, but that's a fight I'd like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Joseph Parker versus Dillian Whyte at all. It's a good fight, right? It's a good fight. A lot of people say, me included, in fact, that if that fight is another 30 seconds, Parker might get rid of Dillian Whyte. I mean, you never know, right? I think it's a competitive fight. I think both of them are top. I think Parker's still a top 10 guy. I think some people don't think he is. Parker is. Parker's a top 10 guy. We know Dillian Whyte is already. Dillian Whyte's probably a top 4, top 5 guy. I like what Parker's been doing during this this lockdown. He's showing a side of him that I didn't even know he had, right? So I've almost become more of a Parker fan since this lockdown. So that's a fight I'd like to see. What's this one? Jonathan Banks says he's confident he'll have GGG ready when Canelo trilogy happens. Not sure. I'm a massive GGG fan. But that fight against Derevyanchenko took a lot out of him. Took a hell of a lot out of him. And he's just getting older. What is GGG? 38? I don't know how old Canelo is, but I'm guessing Canelo's about 28, 29. So Canelo's getting better, I think. I think it's fair to say getting better, getting bigger, getting stronger. GGG is sliding down. GGG isn't getting better. He's getting older, and I don't think he's as strong as he once was. So I don't know what Jonathan Banks can do to a 38-year-old guy that really doesn't move well anyway. I think that you need at least 2 or 3 training camps with your trainer to kind of learn new things. But I don't think you can teach an old dog new tricks. So that's what I think. So I think the fight will happen next. I do think they're going to go straight to Canelo GGG rather than Canelo Billy Joe Saunders, which is a shame. I would like to have seen Canelo Billy Joe Saunders. But look, the only chance GGG has in this fight is if the fight's at 168. That's the only chance, right? And people might say that benefits Canelo, but I just feel like GGG on the scales at 160 doesn't look great, does he? So we'll see. Even though GGG does have a mandatory of his IBF belt, so we'll see what happens with that. What else is here that's of any interest? Lopez to Loma. Tune-up fight. Fuck that. My tune-up fight's going to be with you. He's running his mouth a bit, is TEOFIMO, isn't he? I mean, I guess you've got to, right? You've got to be confident in your own abilities, but easy, Tiger. Easy, all right? I don't know. Again, I've done a video about this, and who does the layoff help more, right? Some people think that it helps TEOFIMO more because TEOFIMO is the younger, the fresher, etc., etc., and that Loma's getting older, and, you know, the longer it takes for Loma to get back in the ring is going to be difficult. I said the complete opposite. I said TEOFIMO Lopez is just getting bigger. And he's already said he wants to go to 140 immediately after this fight. And that tells me that he's struggling to make the 135 weight. So I think it benefits Loma, if I'm honest with you. But then again, I'm a Loma fan, so I don't know. I'm probably wearing my Loma hat right now. But it's a good fight. It's one of the fights that I said I'm disappointed because of this coronavirus, because of that fight. I really wanted to see that fight. That fight would have happened this month. And now we don't know if we're going to get it until 2021, right? There was talks about October, November. I think it'll probably be 2021, which is a bit of a shame. What's this one? All right, Spence's trainer. ERROL earned a lot of respect with win over Brook. He did. It was a good win over Kell Brook. That was the ERROL Spence that I thought was going to go on and dominate 147. Some people might say he is dominating 147, to be honest, right? Minus Terence Crawford and Pac-Man. But I thought he was not just going to dominate 147. I thought he was going to go to 154 and do some damage there as well. Now, I'm not sure. Obviously, we don't know how he's going to recover after this accident. We don't know when he's going to be back in the ring. This boxing hiatus, right, due to the coronavirus might actually benefit him because he was talking silly talk about coming back in August. I think he should sit out the whole of 2021, and he might be forced to sit it out now and come back strong. Sorry, sit out the whole of 2020, sorry, and come back strong in 2021. But it'd be interesting to see who he comes back against. There is talks about Danny Garcia. There has been some whispers about Terence Crawford. I don't know about that personally, but we'll see. All right, Hearn, Dillian Whyte would fight Povetkin in a car park. I was going to do a separate video about this, but we might as well just talk about it now just because I'm too lazy to do a separate video. Obviously, this fight will be behind closed doors. Eddie Hearn announced it on Sky Sports Boxing's YouTube page, I think, yesterday. The undercard or the co-main event will be Katie Taylor versus Serrano. So, look, it's happening, right? It's happening. He's talking about possibly the end of July, start of August. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think as much as we fans are desperate to see some action, I think we are neglecting how important it is to watch a boxing match with a crowd. Like the crowd, the atmosphere does everything. Does everything, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still get great fights, but there's something about the atmosphere for these big fights. I mean, it's going to sound weird. Like, for me then, there's no point. Like, I don't know if he's going to do it at the MEN Arena or O2 Arena, right? But for that, you might as well just do it at York Hall, Bethnal Green. If you're going to do it behind closed doors, just rent. You could rent a fucking leisure centre. Like, you don't need to rent a big arena. Because that big arena, that noise, it's just going to reverberate everywhere. You'd rather do it in a small arena where, I don't know, like, you don't get all that reverberation from the noise. Does that make any sense at all to you people? Hopefully it does. All right, what else have we got here? Eddie Hearn wants Joshua Fury, denies negotiations have begun. I kind of said this on the video I did yesterday that, look, both fighters would have given the green light to their promoters and managers saying, yep, all right, I'll fight him. Go out there and see how much money you can make me. That's it. That's not negotiations beginning. That's just a case of how much money is out there. Once you get that hurdle over, then you're right, you can sit down and have proper negotiations. So I agree with Hearn. Negotiations haven't begun, but at least there could be something in it, right? At least there could be something in it. What else here before we talk about Tony Bellew? What is this Anthony Fowler, O'Hara Davis thing? What is this? I just find it ridiculous. They've I think even Eddie Hearn done some sort of, I don't know, thing with them both on YouTube, where he actually really talked about, or O'Hara Davis said he would go up to 150. Remember, he fights at 140 now. Fowler fights at 154. Then they would meet at 150 and have a fight. And all of a sudden, that's a big fight. Get the fuck out of here. No chance. It's just next. What else? All right, this is interesting. Obviously, leads on to what I just said about Hearn and Fury, Joshua talks going on. I think representatives, is that the right word? It is, yep, of Wilder PULEV have basically said they ain't taking no step-aside money. Like, step-aside money? No, we want the fights. Now, look, I get it if you're Wilder, right? I understand you're Wilder, you're not taking step-aside money, you just lost your WBC belt, you want that belt back, right? You've had, what's he had, 11 or 12 defenses of that belt, you want that belt back. So I can understand how he would, like, not want it. PULEV, just take it, dude. Just take the step-aside money, right? Take it. Just take it. Just because, personally, I think Anthony Joshua would walk through you. Even this Anthony Joshua that I don't think is... I think we're going to see a new Anthony Joshua in terms of style. So I don't think it's going to be the wrecking machine Anthony Joshua anymore. But I still think AJ would walk through him. So take the step-aside money and wait for your opportunity. Or AJ, throw the belt away and he fights for the vacant belt against... Let's have a quick look and see IBF heavyweight rankings. Who would he fight for the vacant belt? Sorry about these peeps. Technology. PULEV would fight. Are you kidding me? PULEV would fight Charles Martin. AJ should literally throw the belt away and let PULEV fight Charles Martin for $200,000. Fact, right? That fight ain't doing shizzle. Let him fight him for $200,000 and let's see how that works. All right, couple final bits. Amir Khan still hopes for Pacquiao. Says Brook walked away from talks. All right, shall we talk about Tony Bellew saying that he would, I want to get the words that he said exactly. Tony Bellew, Andy Ruiz. Should we talk about Tony Bellew saying he would smash Andy Ruiz? Is that what he actually said? Or is that just the Daily Mail lying as papers do? No, I think he did say he would smash Andy Ruiz. All right, let's discuss this. Let's put the laptop down and let's have a good old chinwag about this. Firstly, where does this confidence come from? Like, why does he think he would beat Andy Ruiz? I'm back. Is it because he beat David Haye? Is that what it is? Is that what it is, right? It is, isn't it? I actually like Tony Bellew a lot. I think Tony Bellew is one of those fighters. I think I'll put Anthony Collar in this as well. That I think like literally maxed out, right? When someone talks about, you look at their ability and where they would get to, I don't think many people seeing Tony Bellew and Collar coming up would say, yeah, that guy would headline pay-per-views, that guy would be a world champion, that guy would fight, and what did he fight Loma? Madison Square Garden, that guy would be a world champion, that guy would fill out the AMIR arena. They both maxed out, and I appreciate that, and you've got to appreciate someone that does that, because there's a lot of boxers who waste their talent. These guys certainly didn't waste their talent, right? So again, let me start with saying I like Tony Bellew. That being said, no, he would not. He would not smash Andy Ruiz at all, at all. No chance, no chance. Again, styles make fights, right? And he might have a style that he thinks is suited to Andy Ruiz, but Andy Ruiz would run through Tony Bellew. He just would, right? Again, I hope people, and I'm saying this to the casual fans, I hope we're still not looking at Andy Ruiz's physical shape and thinking that Tony Bellew would beat him because Andy Ruiz doesn't have a six-pack and is fat. I hope that's not the reason, because we've learnt our lesson, right? Surely we've learnt our lesson when AJ fought that, and or AJ fans, including myself, fought that, and AJ got humbled in Madison Square Garden in front of a few thousand people and millions around the world. Andy Ruiz is a very, very good boxer. He's an elite level boxer. Andy Ruiz is no worse than 6th or 7th best heavyweight in the world. Again, styles make fights, so that doesn't necessarily mean much in terms of a matchup. But Andy Ruiz for me is just too good for Tony Bellew. And I don't even think we're seeing the best Andy Ruiz. I've said this before. I think the best Andy Ruiz is going to be 30 or 40 pounds lighter than we're seeing right now. But even this Andy Ruiz now is still, I think, too good for Tony Bellew. And I'm not just saying that based off the first AJ fight. I'm saying that based off the fight with Joseph Parker, a fight a lot of people thought he won. The fight against Dimitrenko, which was a good performance. Andy Ruiz is a very, very good boxer. I mean, I've seen him up close and personal now. I saw a 293-pound person, 293, clearly overweight, and had fast hands, right? Still had, I think at the time, faster hands than AJ. Just his feet weren't as fast as his hands, so that was a problem for him. Still has fast hands, can take a punch. We know that now. Can punch as well. Good boxing IQ. No. I mean, I'm trying to think of the best Tony Bellew. I want to say Haye, but Haye won. There's so many asterisks with that performance, just because I think we all can admit that wasn't the David Haye, and that's not Tony Bellew's fault, but it wasn't. So, I mean, look, I think he looked good for the first 3 or 4 rounds against Usyk. Looked sharp in that fight. So it's probably a bit of that. bit of the Makabu, a bit of the David Haye, right? I'm trying to just put them all together. That guy ain't beating Andy Ruiz. Again, Makabu, he was a cruiserweight. Usyk, he was a cruiserweight. It was a heavyweight against David Haye, but a very small heavyweight. So look, I understand what Tony Belly's saying. He probably looks at him and stylistically thinks he can beat him, which is right. I can understand that. But me personally, I don't think he... I think he gets blasted out. I think he'll look good and fast and explosive for a few rounds, but in the end, I expect Andy Ruiz to do a number on him. But yeah, look, it's never going to happen, right? It's only Tony Bellew saying what he thinks he can do. It's not like the fight's ever going to happen. Tony Bellew is, I want to say happily retired. He's certainly not happily retired, but he's retired. And the last time we saw him fight, we saw how it ended. So personally, I wouldn't ever want to see him in the ring again. He's getting that itch. You can tell he's getting that itch. But he's made his money. He's been in a couple of big pay-per-view fights. And he's been a world champion. Tick, 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 right? Get in, get rich, get out. Peace. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, please like and share the videos. It really does help the channel a lot. And if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, I'm done. Peace.